On that day, as evening drew on, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's cross to the other side." That day, according to Mark's Gospel, which we read today, Jesus taught the crowds and his disciples gathered at the lakeshore. He taught them in parables. The sower sows seed. God's word is like a lamp that dispels the darkness. God's kingdom is like seed that grows mysteriously. You can hardly see it, but it will grow. God's kingdom will come. His disciples who heard him teaching would have been pleased with what they heard. Jesus was a wise teacher. His words were powerful and compelling. So they were ready to follow him. Let's cross to the other side, Jesus says. So he and his disciples get into a boat and went onto the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Life. And suddenly a violent storm comes up. Waves break over the boat so that it fills up. And Jesus is in the stern, asleep on a cushion. They were struck with fear. They were going to drown. And Jesus, the powerful teacher, is in the stern of the boat asleep, unaware, it seems, of their fears. Now that's a good image of what our lives can be, isn't it? Jesus' words can bring strength and encouragement. Peace be with you. I am the vine. You are the branches. I'm with you all days. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. And then the storms come, unexpectedly, powerfully, with frightening suddenness sometimes, turning our lives upside down. Overwhelmed by the doubts and life's quick tragedies, we forget God's assurances. Like Jesus in the boat, God seems asleep, not with us at all. And yet the winds and the sea obey him. This gospel reminds us. Jesus calms the sea. God is for stormy times as well as fair. He doesn't want us to perish. Have faith, he says. I'm with you no matter what. God's with us when the storms come. Now that means the storms that come to us personally when sickness or failures or discouragement comes. That also means the storms that come upon our world when disease, a pandemic, can arise like a storm, when nations fight against nation, when the earth itself seems headed for disaster. Have faith, God says. I'm with you no matter what. God's with us in the storm.